Our Mike Seidel is out there on the course this morning, and Mike, you say, A-OK, let's play.
Golf course, just beautiful. Look at this. If I could have a front yard like this, I could die happy. Look at this. It's nice and firm. This is all underwater. Let me take you upstairs to the WXIA Chopper, our NBC affiliate here in Atlanta, and show you what it looked like back on Monday and Tuesday. This whole area was underwater. So then you can figure out why when the golfers got here, they were thinking, how are we going to play golf this week? Well, we knew it eventually would stop raining at least that hard, but getting the golf course in shape, these fairways drain nicely.
I know how it feels, Mike. Lay down, because I'd have an allergy attack doing that.
Oh, my God.
That's how you sleep?
It feels like it.
You sleep on an elbow.
No.
Lay down.
This is how I sleep.
Show me how you...
That's how I sleep. But this feels like, it doesn't even feel like it's real. But again, nice and firm. Great golfing play today and tomorrow.
And Ralph, I guess you've just been through every superintendent's nightmare. The whole golf world's watching an event you're hosting, and you end up with historic weather prior to the tournament. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we had about 12 to 13 inches of rain all of advance week, which is the week prior to the event, up through and including the first Monday practice round, and that was the last really big rain. We had about 1 3/4 inches, but 1.5 inches of that fell in about 20 minutes. That was kind of the.
So what were you thinking?
I was thinking, where did I leave my boat when I walked out of the rules trailer, because we were talking about the weather when it hit, and the trailer's up by the first fairway, and when we stepped out, every fairway we could see was really like a river, and it had just rushing water. It was unlike anything I can remember seeing out here.
And perfect timing too.
Yeah. We had to spend the next bit of time trying to figure out how we were going to get practice rounds in.
Now, I think the whole country was pretty amazed when they saw it on TV. I guess, first of all, you were playing the ball down.
Yeah, played the ball down every day. The greens were firm. You know, we rebuilt these greens just about 18 months ago, so they drain really well, and they do have sub-air in them. But the
sub-air did a great job, and you could tell the ball was bouncing.
It's only in the greens. We don't have it anywhere else, and I think that became a misconception throughout the week of the tournament, from some of the comments that we heard, and also from some questions I had from various people in the media. Had to keep telling them that we only have it in the greens. And as good as that was, you know, you always want your greens to be good, but the fairways were just as good, and that was all because of the turf drainage that we did in 2002, 2003. So, you know, not much was talked about that. I don't really know why. I tried to bring it up when I could. The hidden hero in all this was the drainage we put in 2003, because we were able to actually mow fairways on Wednesday, which Monday when I walked out of that trailer, I'd have thought there's just no way in the world we'll be able to mow until at least Friday, if then. And we were able to mow on Wednesday. They actually were pretty good on Tuesday. I talked to our locker room staff Tuesday evening as they were going home, and I asked them, you know, what kind of comments they were hearing and what people thought, and they said they just couldn't, the players couldn't believe that it was that dry, and the locker room attendant said we didn't even have mud on the shoes.
He's always been the one to tell us how well we're doing out here, isn't that right?
Yeah, we've had, with you here, we've had some conversations with him before, and that's kind of how they gauge the golf course, is by the amount of mud on the shoes, and I guess that makes a lot of sense. I remember, I think it was probably a year after we did the drainage in 2003, and you and I came out and played golf one day, and he was talking about, you know, the difference he's seen, and
yeah.
You know, the amount of mud on shoes and that sort of thing. You know, when I say we mowed fairways during the tournament, we mowed everything except a few areas that we didn't put drainage, and we had to skip those, and we were able to get those a couple days later. But where the drainage was mowable, it was all play. we had areas we saw in Four Fairway yesterday where it was a high point that compared to everything else seemed pretty dry, so we didn't put drainage in it. Now that was a spot we had to skip the entire week until Saturday afternoon before the last storm we got Saturday night of the event. So that what it was the driest area now was by far the wettest area.
I tell you, out there right now, even though you've gotten rain the last few days, I mean, most of the areas where we drove, you don't even get any squishing. I mean, you know, a lot of people want a sand cap golf courses, and sand capping is great, especially from an agronomic standpoint of growing grass. But can you picture that you could ever be any better, even with a sand cap fairway, than what you are in those areas that have been drained?
No, I don't really see how it would be any better. You know, that was something we actually considered back in 2002, 2003. We priced that out and looked at
what do you think the cost difference would have been?
You know, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was probably at least 4 times, if not far more than that.
And would have had to close the golf course.
You would have had to close the course, and I don't think the product would have been any better.
How about talk a little bit about just the construction differences in this type of installation as opposed to new construction, because as opposed to new construction or a total renovation where you're working on dirt, this is all about working on grass. The contractor siphon systems are an authorized contractor since '92 and has done some just really great golf courses besides yours for us. They do a spectacular job, we feel, but I'd like for you to talk about a little bit about what they do.
They come in and basically move thousands of yards of dirt and bring in thousands of yards of sand and put in drainage, and when they finish a hole, you don't know they've been there. You have a little bit of staining on the grass from the tires, getting a little mud on them, but they didn't rut anything. You know, as soon as you got a hard rain, all that staining was gone. Everything tied in really well. It was really hard to imagine when we started that project how good it would look when we finished. Immediately after we finished, how good it was going to look. And you know, it's still hard for me to imagine how they do that and do it as fast as they do it. And they do it fast, as we had a hard time keeping up with them. I just don't know how they do it. You know, they just have that process down, and they take great care to not tear things up. And I just try and tell people how that all works, and they look at you dumbfounded. It's hard to explain.
Special place to be. So we enjoy being here, and appreciate your time, and thanks for spending some time with us.